everything is across the board. So, quick introduction. I know this is last minute, ladies and gentlemen, but should have probably mentioned this yesterday. But um, just welcome to episode 4 of the sit down. So right now we are joined by what's this, James, right?
Hey, James, the Reforger reporter.
Yeah.
James David, the Reforger reporter, or
You can actually
reporter.
make that your YouTube name. Or some of you who know James may know him as Out of Touch or just a reporter. He's another YouTuber who does like streams on Milsim units. Is it just Arma?
Pretty much just Reforger at the moment, but yeah, I haven't actually had any Armor people reach out. But I mean, I've stopped sort of playing it as of recent, so not that it wouldn't stop me from going back, but yeah, mostly it's been Reforger.
So, without further ado, actually before we get into this, I'm just gonna give a quick shout out to, uh, I guess you say our first official partner. We were working with Milsim units. Um, those of you who do know Milsim units, they were our guest on, I believe, it was the episode 3 of the sit down where we talked with LA Flash and Brad. Or I probably just fucked his name up, but so we're yep, episode 3. So we were working with them. If you're looking for a unit, whether it be on upcoming game Bellum, Arma, I want to say Gray Zone Warfare, um, Squad, Hell Let Loose, Battlefield, so on and so forth, and you want to either bring your team to give your team a little more light, and you can join Milsim units. You can advertise your unit, or if you're someone that's looking for another unit, um, you can join there, look around, see what fancies you, and then reach out to that unit, whether it be on whatever game, and go on from there. So we will leave a link to the description to their website um, once we upload this to YouTube and all that shit. But James, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. Cheers for the invite.
So for everyone's just to bring everyone up to speed, what got you into all this? Because I know you pretty much laid it out for me, but let's go ahead and let everyone know on this.
It's a long story, and the problem I have is that the people that know me know that I can talk, and I'll continue to talk until someone tells me to shut up. So if I begin to ramble, let me know,
Oh,
like,
well,
because
we
I
got
can
time.
ramble, and people know that I ramble. So, but I mean, I guess it started like I was telling you before, back in '06 when I got my first PC, being predominantly a console gamer and not really having the money to actually just buy a PC. I spent a lot of my time actually going into the city here in South Australia and going to an internet cafe to be able to play Battlefield 2, the original Battlefield 2, not the one you guys played on Xbox and that. But so
The one that came on PC.
yeah, the PC one. It came. I think there was a Vietnam one first, and then came the more modern one, and then after that was Battlefield 2142. But yeah, me and my friends started playing more so on Battlefield 2, and so none of us had a PC, so we'd have to go into the city, hire a PC for an hour or two, and then play it. Log in and play that, and then it'd be a weekday. We'd end up leaving there like 3 a.m. and having to work in the morning too. So, and we all worked at the same place. So it was always like the Wednesday midweek thing we would do, go on online game till 3 in the morning on a weekday.
Uh,
And then
I had my
it was insane, dude.
I had my fair experience with internet cafes back in Japan.
Yeah, right. They're massive over there. I hear. Yeah, people don't even bother getting a computer room. You just go to an internet cafe in Japan over there. So
A lot of folks don't, but like some of us who are like say, because we're outside the base where I was stationed at, we had a bar area, and if you walk to that gate all fucked up, they'll pretty much put you in like a drunk tank or something. Or at least they did when I was there.
Yeah.
Things may have changed.
Yeah.
So what a lot of us would do is just we know we're fucked up because you get fucked up on four tall boys over there. Like what is it? The tall ass beer mugs they have. Just four of them will be able to fuck you up. So you walk over and there'll be like multiple. There won't be just one. There'll be different internet cafes. You go rooms like, hey, I want a room for tonight or a cubicle for a night. Okay, here you go, and then you just pay on your way out the morning. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty much how it worked as well. Like you pay by the hour. Yeah. But that's how it started for us. And then one by one, I think there was probably about I want to say about five, six of us that were going there religiously. And then one by one, everyone bought a PC. So slowly it got down to there was only two of us going to the internet cafe, you know. So then, and the other guys were all at home. And then eventually, I think I ended up being able to earn enough money where I could get a credit card, and I just got a PC from the place I was actually working from, which was a hi-fi place that sold TVs and stuff like that. I bought my first PC in 2006, but it was to play Battlefield. I was like, yeah, I get this, and we can play Battlefield. I get all the points, and yeah, I'm gonna rank up. I'm gonna be the best because everyone thinks they're gonna be, you know. And so I think that lasted about a month. Not probably not even that. Maybe about a month worth of playing it, and then I went to one of my friends' houses that I played Battlefield with, and he was in there gaming, and I look over his shoulder, and he's playing Armor. He's playing Armor Operation Flashpoint, the original one.
oh
And I look over
fuck,
his shoulder, I'm
yeah,
like,
I remember that shit. It was
yeah,
big
man.
when I was in
I
high
look over his
school.
shoulder, I'm like, what is this? What is this? Like, because I'd never seen it. Like, I'm like, what is this? And he just turns around casually and tells me what it is. I went home straight away, figured out money to get it, went and bought it straight away, and then that didn't last very long because Armor One was already out at that time. So I went and figured out that Armor One was already out, got Armor One, and then I was playing Armor One within like that week. You know what I mean? And then all of us were playing Armor One within that week. We were all hooked, and then that was it. And that was like I said, 2000. That was in '06. So from that, I met Jeffries. Um, he's a ex combat engineer from Australia. Here, he's in Perth at the moment. Um, met him in a server once. I logged in real late at night, probably like at 10:30 ish. I reckon it was about the time I logged in. Maybe the server was completely dead, and it was just me and this other fella in the server. And back then, the game mode was evolution, and all the vehicles would be at the base. You would spawn in, pick your kit, go get a vehicle, move out to the area you want to clear and clear it. Just like most of the other Armor game modes, you're just clearing the whole map, sort of thing.
Pretty much what
But we
Forger has going on right now.
pretty much all the game modes are the same. They just called something different. So I get in and there's no vehicles because people have been playing all night and they've left all the vehicles out in the field, just like they do today. Reforged does today. You know, leave their vehicles out
Yeah, that
everywhere.
that
You know,
is like that. In some cases, that
it's a
ends up
common thing.
fucking up the game, and ends up.
Yeah, there's so many Vics out on the map. But anyway, so then I've gone out to the vehicle pool and there's no vehicles and I'm like fuck. So then I look at the map. The only vehicles that are available are boats, ribs that are down on the beach, which are probably about a 1,500 meter walk to the coast. And I'm like, well, fuck. So I start walking, right, towards these boats, and I'll get on the boat. I'll go all the way up the side of the island and get to one of the towns that are populated and start getting some points. You know, start shooting some shit. As I'm running towards this little boat dock, I look at the map and I can see someone else on the map, the little blue marker, running towards the boats too. And we're kind of like on a triangle. He's on the far point of the triangle. I'm on one of the other four points, and we're
Right.
going towards the same point. You know what I mean? I'm like, who's this guy? You know what I mean? And he's probably doing the same thing. And we get there, we get to the boats, and it's Jeffries. He turns around to me. He's like, "Oh, great minds think alike." And I'm kind of like, "It's the only vehicles, dickhead. It's the only things here." You know, I'm like, and then I'm like, now I'm going to be stuck in this boat for 20 minutes while we drive up the coast with this stranger. I'm like, great, here we go. So then we start talking. Turns out we kick off really well. We start like we we get along really well. Jeffrey's being the ex-engineer and military person. As soon as we get off the boat, he takes charge and starts using his military doctrine to guide me and soldier me to the point where we fucked heaps of shit up all night until like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. You know what I mean? Like we had a really good game, and me and him just gelled. You know what I mean? And then from then on, we've been mates ever since. You know, ended up getting some more friends along the way from Armour that were like-minded, that wanted to play the way that we ended up playing, and we formed a small group of us called Mercenaries, or Mercenaries Clan, because you called yourself a clan back then. So are those people with the that don't like white hoods and shit, but that's what we used to call ourselves back then. We were clan. That's what they were. They were
That's a
gaming
clear.
clans, right?
That's a clear difference.
So, but that's just what it was. So we had a small group of us again. It was less than 10 dudes, and they were all like-minded, and like we never really made it to the point where you got to be on this day, you got to be on, and you got to be on our team speak back then. You got to you got to be part of the group. It was
I
just coming.
never used. I remember
Never
hearing
used
about
it.
TeamSpeak
It's
back in the
back.
day.
It's made a comeback. It's actually making a comeback, which made me laugh. But yeah, so we just made it so it was a very casual thing. Come on and play like we do. As long as you mature and play like we do, we don't care. Because me and a few of the other, me, Jeffries, and a couple of other guys, we're always going to be playing. So all they needed to do was search for our lobby, and we're going to be playing. After a while, we met more and more, and then we ended up getting introduced to more and more clans, and we ended up like going to those other clans games and filling in spaces when they didn't have enough people and helping them and all that sort of thing. But we never wanted to be tied down to some other clan because we knew what they were like, and we know it's very hard. Like a lot of the time, you get in with these groups, and even back then, you get in with them, and then they shut down 6 months later, and it's like, well, what a waste of time. You know what I mean? We just prefer just play with the guys that you know that are your friends and do what you do. If anyone else wants to come along, they can. That's kind of the mentality we've always had, right?
Right.
So, and that got me into like, because we were mercenaries, that got me into like wanting to build mods for our group. And back then, the big thing was Blackwater, because Blackwater, as you know, back in early 2000s, they were in a lot of shit back then. We won't get into that. Travis Haley, look him up. There's a whole bunch of shit about him. Um, so at the time, me and some of the other guys within the clan were watching Blackwater very closely. We were watching all of the stuff they were doing. Anytime any footage came out on Live League, we were onto it straight away. We were to the point where me and one of the other guys, Matchy, were scouring Baghdad sat maps to try and find the Blackwater helicopter pad where they were taking off from, where they live, where their base was, where their fucking CP was. We wanted to, and we found it. We ended up finding it through using the videos that the Blackwater guys were posting and satellite imagery. We found where they were taking off from. And I don't know whether that was well known to the fucking world or whatever, but we ended up finding it from the concrete color, the buildings in the videos, and we were definite it was there. And then that got me the idea. I was like,
Just this
I need to
is
make a Baghdad map. Like,
that just reminds me of like what you just described. I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember the greatest capture the flag game, or you had just. I mean, I'm not trying to get off topic, but like this entire situation. This happened before. Like people will fucking on 4chan will go like find where Shiloh the Wolf had his
oh
fucking
yeah,
map
oh
at,
yeah,
where
yeah,
he had this
yeah,
like flag.
geolocations, man.
Yeah, it turned out he's in Tennessee, and then someone wearing up and actually took the fucking flag and just replaced it with something
Yep.
else. And everywhere
Yeah.
he goes,
So
they kept doing it. It was fucking
yeah.
hilarious.
So by finding that base on Google Maps made me want to build a Baghdad map. I was like, we need to build this into a map now. We need to build a Baghdad map. And at the time as well, Generation Kill had just came out a few years like after getting involved in some modding as well. Generation Kill came out, and that pushed me even more to want
That
to
had to
build a
be a
Baghdad
good
map.
help for you.
Oh well, just watching that made me want to make the map even more because I was like, now I have an excuse, like a theme to build the map.
Yeah,
We can
because
we can
you
build
could literally
Generation
take
Kill.
you
Yeah.
could literally take frame by frame pictures and like get the buildings how you want it to be, how the roads are,
It's
what
pretty much what that's pretty much what modders do. Yeah, they go and take pictures of textures, everything. I mean, by the time I got to there, I was in a group of guys that were also a bunch of modders as well, which was called Loki's Nightmare or Loki's Whorehouse. We had several different names,
the
and that
fuck?
was ran by a guy named Loki, right?
Who the fuck
And
calls it Loki's whorehouse?
Loki does. And I'll get to Loki in a minute, and it'll make you understand why he calls it Loki's whorehouse. But so whilst I'm doing the mercenary stuff with Jeffries and all the guys that I game with, we're all hanging out on Loki's Discord. That was basically where we would live. We would hang out there, and if there wasn't Loki's Discord or his TeamSpeak, we would just make our own. But we're always talking to those guys. You know, every time I'd make a mod, I'd go and ask Loki for help, and all the guys in his TeamSpeak would be modders, and some of them were insane geniuses. Like a guy now, a name that was people that probably haven't heard before. Anyone that's old school armor, Spooner. That dude is a fucking mathematical genius, and I would love to know what he's doing now, to be honest. Like, because if he's not working for SpaceX or something retarded like that, I'd be very surprised, to be honest.
Spooner, if you're
But anyway,
listening, if someone knows a guy named Spooner, then fucking hit him up.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's still out there. Like, one of the original Armor podcasters, Jerry Hopper, he's still out there doing stuff. I know that he popped up on my Twitter not long ago, on my X not long ago. So and he interviewed Spooner back then. So they're probably still around doing stuff, but I'm out of the loop. But anyway, so ended up finding a bunch of guys who wanted to help me make the Generation Kill mod for Armor 2. So it was the idea was to make the maps, the Humvees, and I didn't really have an idea to do the units, like the men and their uniforms and weapons. But then one of the guys that was helping with the map creation and that was skilled enough to go, hey, I can make the units. So he made them all. He made Iceman, he made Tromley, everyone. He made them all with their weapons that they were everything. Right? And then I made the Humvees, and then it was a group effort to make the map because it was the map back making maps back then was a bit of a tasking in itself.
How
So
how long did it take you to make a map, or how long was it usually for anyone to make a map?
I mean, by the time we started again, because I had, man, I can't even remember this, and this is bad because I can't remember the guy's name who helped me make the map, but I know it starts with an E, and it'll come to me later. He he had map creation stuff already on his PC, so it was easy for him to set me up. You know what I mean? But from scratch, it's not an easy tasking. So I mean, you could probably be walking around on the ground with no buildings, no roads, no trees, nothing like that. You could be probably walking around on the texture within about 4 hours. That's just, but that's nothing else. And probably
Just
there'd be
four
no weather
hours to do
system, no
that?
skybox. Yeah, about 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours maybe. To be walking around with nothing else in the game. You know what I mean? With nothing else on there. But then once you get set up and you've got to that point where it's just like playing Sim City. Yeah, you grab a building, you chuck it in, you grab the walls you want, you paste them down, you grab a tree, you put it, you rotate it, and then but then it's just a repetitive,
Shit,
because once you
I
think
didn't even play fucking
you
SimCity that much.
yeah, it's like that's what it's kind of like. You're just grabbing the objects you want, you're putting them where you want, and then it's just a matter of how much detail do you want to go. I mean, you could just put like everybody that does watch this, visualize this. You've got a square plot that you're going to put a house on and a living area, people live, and it's Baghdad. So you go walls around that plot first, grass, put the building in. The building's already detailed. You didn't build that. Someone else did, and it's just an asset that you just plonk in. All right.
Right.
So you plonk the building in that you want. You rotate it to wherever you want. So now you've just got a house, a wall, and some grass. Doesn't look very lived in. Okay, let's throw a bicycle up against the wall. Let's chuck some rubbish in the backyard. Maybe a burnt out car. Okay, there's some more objects. Still doesn't look that lived in. So you can imagine by using imagination, you could spend a lot of time just on one plot, one property. And then you got to do that because it's Baghdad 10,000 times, 1,000 times, depending on the size of your
How
map.
how
You know what I
big
mean?
of a map are we talking about? Like, not just like
I can't remember the size, the sat map size. It was quite big, and I do remember after a while I got that sick of making properties that I just started copying and pasting them. Like, and it was just like I would like not put any of the high detail in, like the burnt out car and the bike up against the wall and the lived in. I would just get the walls and copy and paste them, and just massive grid of walls now. And then I would cut out pathways and ways to get through. And I do remember when I first released it, after copy and pasting a massive amount of the city, not realizing that I didn't put any pathways in to get from one side of the block to the other side. You had to walk all the way down the road and then around, because you couldn't jump back in Armor 1 back then. You couldn't vault over the wall like you can in Reforger. There was literally no jump. So even a knee high wall would stop you in your tracks. Yes, you're a special forces soldier who's they've spent millions of dollars to train. They fly you into Afghanistan and you can't get over a knee-high wall. That's armor for you. And you know what the sad thing is? If you go play Armor 3, it's the same today. It's sad and it makes me not want to play Armor. That's why I stopped playing Armor 3 because I played their latest DLC and I did this whole campaign and I went to go invade a city and I came running into the town like, yeah, sweet, I'm gonna mess everything up. And I get to this wall and I'm like, look down one way, I look down the other way, like I can't jump this wall. I have to literally walk all the way around. Very bad. Fix it, Bohemia Interactive. It's bad. But anyway, people have modded it and fixed it, so don't worry. The community fixed it for you. It's fine. Just like we
So
have
yeah,
been for the last 26
they
years,
know
you know.
like, oh, we just toss this shit out there. Like, oh, we'll might fix some things here and there, but like we know we got
Yeah,
a bunch of folks who are
they know
just
the community gonna fix it,
yeah,
man. They've
communities
been like
fix it
that.
because
Nothing's
it's one
changed.
the community like even if you did
Don't worry, dude.
even if you did put it
Bohemia
in there,
Interactive is another subject we can get into later. Like,
like even if they
but so
did put
anyway,
it in
so
there, they like
made
folks
this
would
massive
still
mod and map and learnt heaps whilst making it and met a good bunch of dudes, and then released it. And slowly, as you get to the point where there's certain bugs where you don't know how to fix them. That you just stalemated by certain bugs, certain things that no one in your crew knows how to fix it, and there is no data out there to help you fix it, and there's no one out there that's willing to give you time to come and help you fix it. Because anyone that's made mods, I mean, it's probably a lot easier now because of social media and the way that people can communicate. But back in the day, man,
no
literally you could get to
yeah.
a stalemate and there's nothing. There, all you have is a post on a forum that maybe, hopefully, if you're lucky, someone with a little bit of heart left that's not blackened from playing mods and making mods is willing to step out of their um, mod making and help you with your little bug that you can't fix because for whatever reason.
How
And you could have hundreds
uh,
of people complaining about that bug, but no one willing enough to come and help you
uh,
fix it, or maybe no one knows how to fix it.
uh,
Pretty annoying, but
going back to uh the size of like the map, like how when you got done with it, when you finally got done all it, you just got done with landing the last piece after thinking you're done like I don't know how many times, and like you look back, it's like fuck, I didn't add that. I had to go back, spend like another half
oh,
hour
all the
to
time,
three
man,
hours.
all the time, dude.
How big and like when it comes to storage space was it by the end of the day?
Oh, it was under a gig. It wasn't that big. It
Oh,
wasn't huge. Yeah, it's just under a gig. So I mean, I'm pretty sure if you look on Steam, someone, I don't know why, has put it on Steam. And I've even commented on it. Why have you put this on Steam? Why
yeah.
have you put
Why
my
have you
mod
brought
on
this
Steam?
back? Do not
Yeah, why have
let
you
it
brought this
die.
horrible thing back? Yeah, let it die. Like, but what happened was the website that everyone used to put all of their mods on ended up closing. So then they went into panic mode, and the only way to store
That
everything
makes
was to
sense.
put it
That's
on
not that's
Steam.
because it sounds like
Yeah,
more like archiving than.
yeah, that's what it was. Because all of the mods from back then are on Steam, even though none of them, none of them work. But they're also there for
At this point,
resource. You know,
yeah, at this point, like a lot of mods from back
I
in the
mean,
day, so like are
could
probably
learn
dead.
you could learn a lot from them still. You could. I mean, if you're a
Yeah, if you break them
I don't know why
down.
you would do it this way because I always release my stuff open source because I wanted people to learn because as I did through open source stuff. So you could open it and learn from it, but I don't know why you would use that old material to learn from. But some people you never know might want to read old C++ and want to see how I did something, but
I
it's
mean,
weird, but
yes,
it's still there.
I
It's
mean,
immortalized either way.
I mean, trial and error is a thing. So fucking people are
Well,
gonna
that's
look.
all right, yeah.
People are gonna try their shit. They're trying to copy you. It's like, oh, hey, let's try this. Oh, this didn't work. How do they fix it? Oh, this. There.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
It's
and
like
I
it's
still do that today
they'll
with missions and stuff for armor. So
right. Um. So, who was the first unit that you actually interviewed and like was rucking it with?
as a reporter,
Yes,
would have been RCT5 when they called me back in to because
RCT5.
as I was telling you before we went live, me and the Mercs were part of a crew. I won't mention them. There's no need to dig in them. They know who they are. we were part of a crew that were sort of up and coming. That had a lot of members, but not very good guidance and not very good leadership. So me and Jeffrey seen the potential in their crew, so we were willing enough to hang out there and spend time to try and help them guide the right way. You know what I mean? And also teach them what we've learned, and they could teach us what they've learned. Blah blah blah. Because there was some Marines in there too, ex-serving members and that. And me and Jeff are always willing to work with ex-service people because they're the ones with the real knowledge when it comes to Milsim. You know, with tactics and all that sort of shit. Um, so we're working with these guys, and it got to the point where they ended up falling apart. And again, I won't go into that because it's just a bitch story that we don't need to talk about. They ended up falling apart, which ended up making myself and Jeffries, we got really depressed to the point where we didn't even want to fucking play the game. Like, it tore us apart. It sounds silly, it sounds dumb, but you put a lot of time into something, like a year into something, and then it gets snatched away from you, and you see all these dudes that are upset about it. It can affect people, you know what I mean?
Well, no,
And
we seen it
and
on
we
our
can get
ends. Like
into that again. We
there
can
has
get into that a
been
bit more later.
there has been plenty of good units that we know that we some of the units that we interviewed they end up gone like after a while to be gone to the wayside. And like only way you know their existence is like, oh hey, we have video. Like here's a video of us interviewing them.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, they fell apart. I stopped playing, Jeff stopped playing, and we were just not doing anything. We weren't even playing. I didn't want to play any games. I was that depressed because we were putting that much time in, like every day, you know.
that's
And being that
depressed.
I'm a content creator, I can sit at the computer and this is my work, you know, and I can work with it and make footage and you know. So it was fine for me to sit here and grind away, playing with them and helping them evolve. And then they collapsed, super depressed, didn't want to play. A bunch of the guys that left that group because they seen what was coming, they were all ex-serving Marines. They went and started their own crew and had constantly been asking me to come and play with them. Like, come and play. And I'm like, nah, I'm not in the mood, not in the mood. And so I just kept blowing them off because I just didn't want to play. And before the previous group broke down, they had a big mission with a bunch of other clans involved, and they invited this streamer that was a press dude to come along, and he was going to run as a reporter in the mission. And I was like, that's a really cool idea.
I
And
know.
I was also annoyed because they didn't ask me to do it because again I was the content creator for the crew. I was the one making all their YouTube content. They didn't ask me to do it. They went and outsourced, and I was a little annoyed, but I was like, whatever. And this dude's supposed to be pretty big streamer, YouTuber guy, so I'll let him do it. He's probably going to do a way better job than me, whatever, right? So I was a saw gunner in the crew at the time, and I was like, I'll just saw gun, shoot things, point and shoot, you know. So we did the mission, and it was a fun as mission. It's actually I think I've still got it on my YouTube. And what ended up happening is the reporter got attached to the group I was with, and me and him were the only ones ended up alive in this one building, this two-story building. Everyone had got themselves killed, and we were surrounded, and it was nighttime. And this is vanilla Reforger, no night vision. So I'm
So
the
this
reporter,
is
and we're
on
hiding up. Yeah, this is
Everon.
early. Yeah, this is on everyone. Yeah, and the building's just getting lit up. And I'm hiding us in upstairs, and I've given the reporter a gun and to give him this whole spiel to not be a pussy, and made it look really good for his stream. You know, I was putting it on. You know what I mean? Like, because again, before I started doing my own streaming, I used to do voice acting on Red Dead Redemption in my own streams back in COVID and pretend I was American. So I know how to act. And also, I come from a thespian background. The schools I went through were all thespian schools. If people don't know what a thespian is, it's not some sort of fucking something you identify as. It's an actor. It's someone who wants an audience. It's a theater person. Okay, that's what a thespian is. So relax. So I come from a thespian background, so
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like I
gonna be
know
one
drama.
guy.
I know,
There's gonna
yeah.
be some schmuck
There's
out
gonna be
there
one
that
guy,
goes.
oh, he's a fag or whatever, but
No, there's gonna be like some schmuck out there that goes. I identify as lesbian. I was like, shut the
yeah,
fuck up.
identify as a thespian. Okay, but no, so I know how to act and that sort of stuff when there's an audience. You know what I mean? So I used to pretend to be an American and I'd run around in Red Dead Redemption and coax people to come along with me and be like, "Hey man, how you doing? We're going to do a job. We're going to rob a train. You want to come along with us?" And I would do that for 14 hours straight, not break
That's
character,
the.
and
I know you.
I'd
I
have
know you told me this
Americans thinking that
before.
I was Americans.
I know you told me this before we went live. I'm still cracking up.
Yeah, and like I haven't done that for ages, but every now and again I'll use that voice, and people just look at me like, "What the like? How did you switch to that so quickly?" Like, like, and that was during COVID, so I was doing that heaps, and we did some really funny content, and that's what people told me. They're like, you need to start streaming this or recording this because it's hilarious. Because we would just prank people and mess with people, and I would pretend that I lived in the game. I lived in Butcher Creek, and I was kidnapped, and like I had this whole backstory, and it's pretty funny. Like, but
Can you imagine
but no,
there's
that
like a
character.
fucking Wikipedia page about your character?
Well, that's every now and again, depending on what I'm doing in Reforger and who I'm with, that character might come out as a drill sergeant in Reforger and drill someone. So
Ah,
every now and again, that guy comes out, and because if I'm in the game and if I'm in uniform playing the game, and if I see someone wearing ridiculous kit, I'm gonna pull that character comes out in me, and I turn into this drill sergeant, and I walk up to them right into their face. If they're
you,
carrying two guns, I'm like, "Hey, excuse me, boy, you carrying two guns?"
I am
Who said you could carry two
from
guns,
Butcher
boy?
Creek.
Yeah, like
I'm
I
from
would just
Butcher
I would give
Creek,
him a
and
hard like
I might
I
have
would
been
go hard after
kidnapped.
him like. Oh no, it's that same character, but he's a drill sergeant, and I will fuck someone up if they're wearing stupid gear. If everyone's wearing
I could
camouflage
say
and then one dude connects and goes and gets black camo on, that guy's coming out of, and I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna tell him, why are you wearing black gear when everyone else here is wearing camo? But I'm gonna do it as a drill sergeant, like. And I've done it a few times, and the result is really funny. Like even I
if I
laugh
if
watching it
I
back myself.
if I were in a situation where I'm like geared up, like I'm just gearing up, fucking putting some random shit on. Not gonna get like involved in firefights, but I'm like I'll fucking like record or whatever, like stick with the unit. And I hear something come on, it's like like something. I was like, I heard fucking a real life, because I drove through the south, and like I never thought I heard, but if do you remember that movie, The Water Boy?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you know that fucking character that when he speaks, no one can understand what the fuck he's saying.
yeah. I do know that character. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that shit on the fucking road, and it's like it'll be a cross between that and Boomhauer from King of the Hill. So like you hear
Yeah,
that,
that's
like
right. Yeah.
I thought I hear some goofy shit like that. It's like I'll be honest, I ain't keeping a straight face. I'll be laughing the whole time. It's like you'll be hearing me fucking laughing through the mic, man. It's funny, like I don't ain't no disrespect, but goddamn, I get a kick out of that shit every time I hear it.
Dude, the amount of times that I've been Red Dead, and me and my friends would see a player, and we'd ride over to him, and I would say something to him, like, "Does he want to come on a train ride?" And the dude would just shoot me, and he'd be like, "You're racist," and I'd be like, "Well, I didn't even fucking say anything racist." Like, it's just the accent that I'm using. They'd be like, "You're a racist." I'm like, "What the? I didn't even say anything. I asked you really politely
You can tell that
in a
motherfucker from
bit
the
of a
north.
hick voice to come on a train ride, and you
You,
blew me away." Like, it was
you
weird.
can tell that
That,
motherfucker from the north, cause like a lot of
yeah,
guys, a lot of folks
yeah,
from the
man.
south are fucking. They will be the nicest people you or me.
Oh,
They no matter what
all the
color
ones I
skin.
met from the south were gold, and they actually gave me the best content because they would speak back to me just like I was speaking to them, and they would take the.
You're
Some of them
did you ever
realized,
get a
like,
Cajun?
I think we did
Like a
actually. Yeah, I
Cajun
think
or
we did.
Creole from Louisiana?
I think we did.
If
Hey,
you
yeah,
get them going, that you can understand them. It's
yeah.
their
We
own
like
language.
it got busy, man. That was actually those streams were really fun, and it annoys me that game kind of died because that was so fun
Where it did?
playing that game, role play. Yeah, Red Dead, like running around on console with random just running up to people and pretending that you're someone, and voice acting, and then
Wait.
when someone turns around and they go with it, it's so much fun, man.
You
Like,
talking about like Red Dead 2?
yeah, Red Dead 2, like I
Oh,
log on there
I
and
thought that
the
was still
servers are
going.
empty. Oh, it's still going. The game's still running, but if you get on there, the servers are in Australia are just dead. Like
Oh,
I have to
Australia.
join. I have
Okay,
to
yeah.
join. Yeah, I have to join with someone who's playing with in America to be able to get in an American lobby. So then the server's actually got people in it because yeah, Australian lobbies hard to find anyone. Like, but I mean, I haven't played it for a long time, so don't take my word for it.
Right,
But
fucking.
yeah, so yeah, I made the where was we at? Where we at? I made the mod, had that out, learnt heaps from making the game, and then Arma 3 came out, and I could not be bothered porting all of my mods over to Arma. Me and my friend that were
What
doing it,
was it
I was
better?
doing it.
Was
We
Armor 3
tried.
better than like was it better modding
Oh,
in
it
Armor
was
3?
better. It was well. To start with, no, because it was hard to figure it out. There was no content, no one telling us how to do it, that sort of thing. But now it's probably a lot easier because there's probably a lot more content and data out there. But when we were doing it, we didn't know what we were doing. We're just
It's
trying to
like
make it
it's like
work.
here's your fucking pie. Figure it
Oh, it
out.
was pretty bad, yeah. And the physics had fully changed, like
I mean,
as in
it
like the
makes it makes
physics
sense
rules,
because
bounce
you
physics and shit. It was way
yeah.
different.
It's like you go. I mean, of course, when something drops, everyone's going to try to do this and that. No, each game is different, and it's going to be difficult. Is it a pain in the ass the first time? Yeah, that's why like some folks wait like a month or so until like the roots of the modding community dig into this game, because
Yeah,
that way it'd
that
be
that we
easier
we
for them.
kind of did that, but then even then it was even hard to get anyone to try and help us with anything.
Because
So
no one wanted to make the first move.
no, because everyone's too busy making their own stuff as well and trying to figure out their own shit. So and the amount of times that I had helped people with their mod and then never got anything back from them, it was a dumb. It was heaps. So I can understand why it was the way it was, but it's even that like we got to the point where we had an FAV Shentworth, the fast attack vehicle that the Marines use. It's basically a Baja buggy with a 50 cal on the roof and a
Oh,
Mark
I
19
thought you were
for the
talking about the
passenger.
fucking up armor
It was
for
in
real.
Battlefield 2, and yeah. So
Wait,
for years, people were asking for that model in armor for years. And no one ever made one. Not modded, or Bohemia didn't even make one. So I won't tell you how I
there,
got the model, but we acquired a model
you
from
fucking.
from
Oh
someone.
yeah, we gotta make sure this shit's
we,
legal.
yeah, we acquired it. Well, I don't know. I won't say too much. Put it this way: the guy that I got it from has passed away. He passed away from a life debilitating disease that he had. He passed away from it. So God rest Randy Stratton. Everyone knows Randy. Who knows Randy? He's up there riding a train right now, a big fucking massive gold-plated
Was it
train
another
right now
Aussie?
because he loved trains. Now he was an American dude who
Ah,
had I can't remember what he had that actually killed him, but yeah, he had, like, we knew him for years, and he was just always sick, but always modding. He's just a legend within the old modding community. Um, if you go into the SOG mod or the SOG DLC in Armor 3, if you go into the kitty bar in Armor 3, you'll see his photo on the wall. So,
so Bohemia actually added him to the wall or added
well,
to the
that
game.
wasn't Bohemia. That wasn't
Uh,
Bohemia Interactive. The people who made the SOG DLC are a different company that
they
licensed
knew
through
of him.
Beards. But they all knew him because they're all the modders that I used to play with back in the day as well. There's a couple of Kiwi dudes in there. They all made the Vietnam mod back in the day, and they probably got ties with the Vietnam mod for Reforger. But anyway, so Randy got me this model, and he knew if he gave it to me, I would get it in game. He knew because I've been wanting that model forever, right? So he gives me this model, I get it in game, and everyone was using it for ages. And then that was the only model that we managed to get into Armor 3, because out of all the stuff that me and my
I was gonna say because I know the Doom what do you call like a little a Marine Corps Doom buggy.
it's
The,
basically like a little dune buggy, yeah.
there's one that the SEALs used where on
Yeah,
the
that's the
driver's
exact
side,
same one.
the driver's side and the passenger side at the front had like these swing mounted fucking like what was it 240s and like one side. It depends on the fucking the group or something because one may have like may have like a 240 Bravo and the passenger might have a fucking 249 or some shit.
I just sent you a picture of the actual mod.
I'm not gonna. I'll look through it on my phone because I know if I look through it on the
But yeah, but
computer.
anyway, that's the mod. But we got the
Oh,
model in
that no,
game, never got it to
that's
drive and
no.
shit.
I know it. I that's not the one I was talking about. Though it was a different one. But I know.
But that
Yeah,
that is currently in Armor 3 in a mod made by someone else. Because
didn't
after
someone
a
put?
while, I stopped modding, and then I just started giving my models away to people that I knew would get them in game. If I knew someone was modding a plane or whatever, I'd be like, "Hey, here's my old plane. See if you can get it in the game." You know what I mean? Like,
There's
I'm not going to do anything with this starter, so I give it to someone else. So I gave the buggy to this guy that was doing a buggy pack in Armor 3, and I said, "Here's my old Fav. put it in with your buggies, and he put it in there, and I can't remember the name of the mod, but yeah, it's in there. If you search FAV in Steam, if anyone's looking for it, it'll come up if in one of these mods. But it's in a pack of buggies, but it's in there. So
Have
that's the
you ever
only
done
model
like
that
have you ever worked on like helicopters?
I've got a. I had a Tiger. I can't remember the actual code for it.
You talking
I
about
had a
the
Tiger.
Euro Tiger?
Yeah, that because I did it after the Generation Kill mod. I started making like all the Australian vehicles because being Australian, we wanted to do ADF stuff. So I made a whole bunch of Australian vehicles and acquired a whole bunch of ADF, the same model that we used in Australia. Like I got a what was it, the F-16 or the F-18? I got a model from someone else, and I acquired a Black Hawk model from someone, and so I got all these models and made a couple of my own, just to make our own little ADF pack. So we
Right.
had all our own helicopters and shit. And then, but like I said, once Arma 3 came out, that all just died because it wasn't modding anymore and just kind of got over it. Plus, also, like, real life took over. I got married. My career was getting really busy. I just didn't have time for that sort of stuff. I ended up going into the security industry and being an armed guard, bodyguard, cash and transit, and that sort of shit. So, did that for 10 years and didn't really,
Uh,
like, modding
guy,
became nothing. I just wouldn't do it anymore, you know?
I was a guy I used to go. Guy I know from high school. Um, Known him for the 4 years I was in high school, and after graduation, kind of fell off. But I remember running into him in the store. He was telling me about like, oh, yeah, I work for what's it, Garda or some shit. He got into he got into some shit with because apparently I don't know exactly how he's doing this. He was he was slipping money away. Like he was doing inventories. Like he might skim a couple hundred off the top or some shit. It's like, oh, we got this amount and all that shit, and deliver it to people. Nothing really big on like not big chunks that will raise alarms, but like, and you do it. I don't know how long he was doing, but somehow uh, he he got caught when he was like withdrawing large amounts of fucking money from his bank, and they tried him. They fucking crucified this dude at the fucking stake. He's like, he had to pay that shit back. It's like, what the fuck do you expect? No, he's working like overtime. He's dead now, but
Damn.
yeah. Well, I say that, but I was like, I know him, but I didn't know him too well. It's like we were good acquaintances. There's times where in high school, like we'll be out there, fucking a couple of our friends who were in like the punk rock scene, while we dicking around. I remember we put him in a shopping cart, and one of us, I don't even know if I had the fucking video. I have to go look through my little SD cards and shit. Well, like we had a shopping cart, convinced him to get in, and we started pushing it. It's like we're fucking booking it, like run as fast as we can. And being a kid, you do stupid shit. Um, but like we let go, the fucking cart hits the curve, and he just flies right to the fucking grass, man. That's fucking. He got up. We're all fucking having a laugh. But shit.
Riding trolleys, eh?
But yeah, as soon as you brought it, was like security, it's like, oh fuck, man, I know this. I thought about going into that shit, but I was like, no, my goofy ass, I'll probably fuck this shit up.
Oh, there's heaps of jobs you can do in security. It's not that hard. But yeah, once I did that, I was just busy, and gaming took the back burner a bit, and I was just play when I had the time, sort of thing. Jeffries also was the same situation. He was when I met him, he was actually still in the army, and he was because here in Australia, just like every other army, I'm sure they move you around a lot. So he's moving from state to state. Sometimes I was able to get him online. Sometimes I wouldn't hear from him for months. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
he was working or whatever. And then he even went to East Timor. That's Australia's
Uh,
fucking.
yeah, I've been there.
So he went to Timor and all that shit. So we're still always talking. We're on Facebook, so we're always conversing. Every now and again, we get a game in when we could. Jeffrey's PC ended up just getting to the point where it's that old, it wouldn't even do it. He couldn't even play. You know what I mean? So he didn't even have anything that he could fucking play on
That
for years.
I fucking
You know?
hate it. I had that shit happen to me because I never really had a fucking a PC like an actual tower and all that shit. I always, like I told you before, I always wanted gaming laptops. I wanted mobility over just being stationary. Um, this was kind of on me. I had one of those. If you remember back in the day when they had those like HP Beats Edition laptops, there's always like the little red and black laptops that came out. Like it was partnered with Beats by Dr.
Maybe.
Dre. I used that for a while as a gaming laptop, and it got to the point where it's like every time I was trying to like, if I wanted to play World of Warships, this thing would not fucking stay alive. Like the CPU just pretty much crapped out, and now like that's kind of forced me to. I wasn't dropping a grand and a half on a fucking MSI or ROG or some shit. It's like I looked at it, saw like, oh, Acer Nitro 5 fucking is that a budget laptop? Yeah, well, fucking gets the job done. God damn it. But kind of want to move
So
to the like, how many units have you like interviewed?
I can't tell you how many, man. I've been like the the like properly as a reporter just this year. I can't tell you how many because I don't count. But for in the last 26 years of playing with, again, I can't tell you because I can't. I would have lost count how many units that I've been a part of that just don't like. Well, worked with, I'll say, not being a part of. Like I said, we're kind of been mercenaries, or we never really attached ourselves. But like the first crew we played with Armour, when me and Jeffrey started running around, was a bunch of guys which had that guy that I was telling you about, Loki. He was he's an ex Navy SEAL, and like and legit too, because I've met him. I know people have met him personally. I've got a friend here in Australia who flew to the States to talk to Loki and be with Loki. So we know him really well. He's legit. So him and his friends would run around, and these are all old dudes, old SEALs running around in the game, and they would run around playing the same way we did, trying not to die. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when me and Jeffries met them, we were just like, this is fucking awesome. We're running around with ex Navy SEALs, and they're all playing the game as if they were all boots in country, real legit, and it just made the game feel even more, authentic, like more realistic when we played with them because as Australians, hearing Americans communicate correctly on comms using proper recall is fucking awesome. When you hear it, it's like to me and Jeffries, it's like listening to a poet like listening to poetry. I mean that sounds stupid to some, but again,
fucking,
those that
just
understand what
fucking
I'm
listen
saying, they
to
get it.
warrior poetry.
Oh, so and a bit like I'm watching them work and use formations correctly and just essentially own a shit ton of AI and not die, and all by using the same mindset as what me and Jeffries had already been playing with. That what that ended up doing is, and because I got that experience early, it made me only ever want to play with people that are at a higher level. And this, you can call me anal, I don't give a fuck. You call me a dick, I don't care. But it only made me want to play with a high level of player, a high level of person that is going to play the game properly. They're not going to run around with no fucking shoes on. They're not going to run around with two guns. They're going to wear the correct uniform. They're not going to shoot at anything without fucking calling it out. They're going to listen to commands. They're going to do shit the way the fucking game should be played. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry to those that I'm butt hurting right now, but if you go and look at the instructions of Armor Reforger, it fucking tells you to play it that way. And I don't care what anyone says, but I don't want to. It's my game time. I'll play how I want to. You're not reading the instructions and you're not playing the game correctly. I
I was gonna
don't
say
care.
let them go
Like,
out that let them go out and die. Like it's like the whole game
but
is
that's
supposed to be a
fine.
team play. So
Do
if
your
you want to
thing.
go out,
Exactly.
do your lone wolf shit. Fucking go out there, die. Ask people for help on the radio, and
Yeah.
like see
The
who
amount of
comes up.
dudes. that me and
You
my
might
crew have
get
just
one.
stepped over, man, because
Yeah,
they get themselves
you
killed.
might
It's
get
just
one
like, man,
squad come over, it's like fucking throw smoke just to revive your ass, or it's like they fucking patch you up as best you can, but you're still on con, and they'll just like throw you in the trunk of the fucking Humvee and just like fucking book it, just to like go back
yep.
to fucking Montauk or the airfield
The
or
amount of
whatever
times,
big base
the
is
amount of times
nearby.
I've been at the ammo crate and standing at the ammo crate waiting for my crew to get ready, the 4 or 5 of us, and we're getting ready, and someone says that some random dude who's gonna
How do
run
you
with us
play
says, I'm
this?
gonna run with you guys. Now some random dude will be like, I'm gonna okay if I run with you guys, and we're like, yeah, cool, man, it's fine, run
Yeah,
with us.
if someone asks that,
And
it's
then
like cool, they
I'll
want to
look at
learn.
them and I'll look at them and what they're wearing and the kit they've got on, and I'll be like, yeah, but can you go put a helmet on first? Because if you're not wearing a helmet, you're gonna get shot in the head, or you're gonna take the bullets aren't like a helmet's not gonna save you from a bullet in Reforger, but it saves you from shrapnel and explosive damage. So then it can save you. That's the fucking point of it. That's the fucking point of a helmet. That's the point of PPE, right? So when I see a player run over to my squad and want to run with us, and again, you call me anal, whatever you want. Me and my crew have been standing there for 20 minutes talking, getting our ray calls, and the way that we're communicating before we've even stepped off has obviously piqued that dude's interest standing at the ammo crate. Oh, these dudes sound like they know what they're doing. I'm gonna run with them. But then he runs over not wearing a helmet and no shoes, and I'm like, dude, can you
He
one
wants
put a
to
helmet on
Leroy
and
Jenkins
put
it.
some shoes on? And he's like, oh no, no, I don't need shoes. I'm faster without it. I don't need a helmet. I won't get shot. And I'm like, yeah, but when you do
He
get
will get
shot
shot.
and my medic has to come and heal you, and now you've put us all in danger, and we all get shot because you're a fuckwit and don't want to wear your helmet, that's gonna piss me off. Go and put a helmet on. And they usually 9 times out of 10 turn around and go and put a helmet on and their shoes on. You know what I mean? Because
Isn't it?
like if you're
Wait,
gonna come into a
isn't it
group of people and
quieter?
not play the way that they're playing, it's fucking dumb and it
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Isn't it quieter when it comes like you don't have shoes on and you're like going through a house?
The AI don't care that you're not wearing shoes. I can guarantee you that, dude. The AI do not give a fuck that you're not wearing any shoes, man. If you're playing PvP, okay, I get it. If you want to run around with no shoes on and have your feet glowing from 1500 meters away, that's fine. You go ahead. I'll just shoot you in the feet. But and if you're gonna have it to the one moment that you're hoping that you're gonna do some fucking CQB and you're gonna have no shoes on, I'd hate to be the dude that gets shot in the face with no shoes on in the end. You know what I mean? It's not gonna save you. Is my point. All it does is make you look ridiculous and take away the immersion from other players. But
I was
again,
just being.
I'm just a fucking retard. I don't care. You know what I
I was,
mean? Like,
I
and
was
people can
just.
play however they want, but I'm not gonna. You come onto my lobby and you dress like that, I'm gonna say something and be prepared to deal with it because if, it's fit in or fuck off in a lot of places. And again, like that's what got me to want to play as the high standard and only play with the high standard of people that are going to play the game properly. And it got me to the point where I want to see someone push it even further. I want to see someone do it. And again, call me anal. I don't call me a dickhead. I don't care. I want to see someone do it better than what we're doing it. I want to see someone live longer than we're living for. I want to see someone do realistic radio calls and a realistic Halo drop and LZs and everything. I want to look realistic.
Right.
I don't want to see a little bird come flying in, do 2 barrel rolls, and then land, and with some dude with no shoes on or no clothes, and expect me to look at him and go, "You're awesome, man." It's like, no, you're an idiot. You just came in, did a barrel roll, and landed. Like, it
I
doesn't make any fucking
I
sense, man.
never
It's
understood. Like,
stupid.
I
Like,
saw that shit at fucking Reforger. I was like, what the fuck is? You don't need to do this flashy shit for fucking just to land people. Like
it
literally,
would way more
next
impress me more if someone
it you
popped
just
smoke and
land the
that
fucking
helicopter came
helicopter.
in, map averse, nice and smooth, and landed with a little flare and landed nice and cleanly. And I can tell you, I would rather watch that on camera than a stupid little bird coming in doing a barrel roll, nearly killing everyone and landing. All for what? So everyone can look at him and go, "You're awesome." Put it on YouTube as a short, so
Dude,
everyone can
oh
sit there
no,
and watch it while they're taking a shit.
yeah, I
Like,
know exactly
get out
who the
of
fuck
here, man.
does. I know
Like,
exactly who the fuck does that.
heaps of people do it. Heaps of
Oh,
people do it,
no,
man. I'm
there's one
guilty of
guy.
doing it myself.
Yeah, there's one guy that does it like armor pilot. I was like, he does all these tricks and people go, oh, well, it's like, motherfucker, get the fuck on the goddamn ground. Like, we don't need this flashy
Well,
shit.
it's not only that. Like, that's cool. I'm glad that young fella got famous YouTube famous on
But
his
that's all
YouTube,
he
and he's
knows
probably
for is
making
like,
some money because. But like, the thing is, you put him in a Milsim setting. How the fuck is he going to do anything when he doesn't talk? How am I supposed to give him a 9 digit and he doesn't even say he can't even give me a read back? How am I supposed to call him in on the radio comms if he can't even talk? What's the point? Like, but again, I'm all happy for him, you know. And the thing is, the other day I watched one of his shorts and he actually spoke. And there's a reason why he doesn't speak. I'll just leave it as that.
oh, dude, oh, come on, you don't tease us, you fuck. Tell us.
Oh, he's a squeaky Indian. So there's a reason why he knew. He's a smart he's a smart kid. He knew if I speak, people, and he says bro every second word. Bro, look at this, bro. It's bad, man. It's bad.
I don't think
And if
that's
you look at
fucking. I
his,
don't
if
think
you
that's
look at
fucking
the,
Indian. That sounds more like something a pack would say.
well, it's because he's just a young fella, and again, I'm all for. He's good. He's probably getting an income now, which he probably wasn't before. You know what I mean? Like depending on where he lives, but
There's
like,
only so much income where you could get from just doing flashy helicopter lands on a fucking video game.
yeah, well, all more power to him. But either way, like he's the thing that I get as well that he's not doing anything that nobody was doing 20 years ago with this game. Like I was watching people do that shit. I remember early days in Arma, we ran an actual air show. Like we dressed up this server like an air show with everything on display and everything, and everyone could rock up and walk around and look at all the vehicles behind barriers and everything. We even had start like a car park where you could drive your car in and park, and get out, walk around, like
What the
full on.
fuck?
Like yeah,
That's
yeah.
that sounds
Like
like art. That
I've
sounds like
got the
some
banner.
shit you would find in Armor Life.
That's what it was like. We just it's just boredom. Like it's the sort of shit we would do. Like and there's stuff, people doing that sort of shit back then, like 20 years ago. It's the same stuff people are doing now. It's just no different. And it's I feel retarded now because I sound like my parents. You know what I mean? Like oh, it's the same back in my day. You know what I mean? But like. But yeah, I mean that's what led me to wanting to like, and then after seeing this young guy do the reporter with the clan that I was with before they broke up, and how bad of a job of it he was doing, it made me like, man, I was like, man,
So you could do
he
better
didn't
than
even
that.
like interview anyone. I was like, I could do way better than that. You know what I mean? And that put the idea in the back of my head. And then
I
it wasn't until the guys from RCT5 basically, like you said, bullied me to coming back to playing because they're all Marines.
you
You know?
get
Like, and like you can't tell a
kick
Marine no. I've learned
kick in
that
the
now. I
fucking
didn't
door.
really know this before. Like, you can't tell a Marine, nah, man, I don't want to do that. They're just gonna stare
Especially,
at you and
especially
stand
Marine,
there staring at
you
you. Do
can't
you want to do that? Like,
you can't tell Marines who stayed in the fucking barracks no, because
no,
one
you
they're gonna
can't.
show up,
Like,
they're gonna find you, fucking show up. It's like fucking
and
burst. You
to be
think they're
honest,
gonna go
man,
through the
like.
wall? No, they're gonna go through the fucking wall instead of the door and just drag your ass out.
Like they know, but like they won't say it. They know. They fucking helped me heaps, man. Like I was that depressed then that like, and they know it, but they won't admit it because they're all hard. Like they're all hardened. So they won't admit it. But I'm a softie with civilian with my heart on my sleeve. So like I owe a lot to those guys for pulling me back in. Because without them there would have been there'd be. And I know I'm not some massive YouTuber right now, but without them there would be no Reforger Reporter. I would never have started it. It never would have given me the push to want to even want to do it. The idea was there, but it wasn't until they pushed me to bring me back in. I wouldn't have done it, man. Like, honestly, there'd be no Reforger Reporter. And I hope that he ends up, the Reforger Reporter is bigger than what it's going to be. But, like, would never have been anything without RCT5. Wouldn't even bothered because it wasn't until they coached me to come in and I said, like, I'll run an ambulance instead. And then I thought about being an ambulance driver. I was like, oh, you know what? I might just come in as a press guy and just run around and I'll make a video for you guys. That's what I said to him. I was like, I'll make a video with you guys and I'll run around as press, pretend I'm press. And the first video I did with him, I didn't even have the shoulder camera or uniform or anything. It was just, I just wore what I could to make myself look like a press dude
Right,
and ran with them unarmed.
right.
And then and that was when I kind of the first time I played with him, I kind of realized like, it's kind of like, I mean, there's other guys that do it. I'm not the only one doing the reporter thing too. Like, I might be the only one doing my style. Everyone's doing their own style of reporting. And when I started playing it with like running around in Reforger with no guns and relying on the players to keep you alive, I really realized like I have to choose who I do this with because if I go with a bunch of guys that aren't coordinated, I'm just going to get killed because I'm unarmed. I don't have any guns. I'm left with my wit and the skill I know from the game and the skill of the guys around me. So that's why I knew that I could do it with RCT5 because they're all Marines. They all know their shit. They actually use proper communications. Like they're really fucking good. And so I stepped up with off with them the first time, and then like, and it was really fun. I was like, I'm playing a different game now. Like I'm not playing Reforger like you guys play it. When I play as the reporter, I'm playing a different game. It's not Reforger, it's the reporter game is how I see it. Because
Right.
I'm not running out there trying to get kills. I'm running out there trying to stay alive and trying to show what the unit is capable of doing and their skill level and how good they are at doing what they do. You know what I mean? And part of that is keeping me alive. Like, and even if I get shot, are they going to revive me or are they just going to let me die? How quickly can they pull security and get me up and get me back without me becoming a fucking dead weight and getting them all killed now? You know what I mean? Like, there's videos I did where I stood on a landmine, you know what I mean, and got messed up, and they all had to like heal me and get me up again, and they all stayed alive and kept me alive. You know what I mean? So doing that like made me like because at that time too was just I'm just gonna do it with RCT5. Or was there was no like oh, I'm gonna do this with heaps of other crews. I'm gonna run around with other guys. I'm just at the time it was just I'm gonna do it by myself and just run with RCT5. These guys are really good players. I love them all. They're fucking sick. They're a good bunch of dudes. Like all the guys over there, you know, it's awesome. Like they're good guys. And and like what it was as well. Like after the first couple of games with them, I kind of like, and remember I come from years ago. I made Generation Kill mod.
Right.
I watched Generation Kill that many times for detail for the mod that it still is stained in the back of my fucking brain. You know. So when it got to time for me being the reporter, now I'm sitting in there. I'm the reporter, and I'm listening to all of the guys talk in the background, and like I might be standing there listening to Bushy give a briefing to one of the squad leads, but what I'm actually doing is listening to the banter that's going on behind him.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
Yeah, because
Like,
you
dude,
were
because it
watching
was
the
real
show.
now. It was real now because it was like and real is in like I'm in the game, but like I'm sitting there listening to Bushy talk to one of the other squad leads, but like behind there's Fed and Mother
You be
and
hearing some
Aries
random.
having the most grossest conversation about some
What is it?
disgusting thing.
You be.
Like I mate, like, but that's for me. That was just like, oh man, I'm playing Generation Kill. I'm playing
You
Generation
be
Kill,
hearing
and
hear
I'm the
someone
reporter.
talk. You be hearing folks drop quotes. It's like from
Oh,
well,
dude,
what
all
was
the
it?
time,
What was it
man.
like? Fucking hey, love, but I thought you were Mexican. I am. Then why
Oh
aren't you
yeah,
being loud and
yeah,
steal my shit? I was like, what the fuck?
dude. I'm not even joking you, man. When I would go through the real, because like their missions would go for 4 hours, so then I'd have to sit there and listen and watch the whole video and chop out all the dead air and all the bits. That's exactly what it was like, man. So much stuff I had to cut out of that banter that's going on in the background because it was just completely inappropriate.
Oh
Like
fuck it.
I couldn't
That's
put it
one
anywhere.
thing.
Like
Fucking everyone wants to look at the U.S. military like we're professionals. Yes, we are professionals.
it's just
However,
banter. So that's
you're
the only
gonna
thing. Some
hear
people understand
people are
it.
gonna. That's our coping mechanism. The way we make things interesting for us,
Exactly.
we'll say some
Yeah.
outlandish shit.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's right.
what? When I was at the fucking station in Japan, fucking on the Blue Ridge, we will fucking say some stereotypical shit. Fucking,
But that's what, dude.
I
I was in
walked into the
tears, man,
fucking,
so many times with
yeah,
these guys.
I walked into the galley once and I fucking found this like big ass thing of Kool Aid. I looked over at my fucking buddy at the time eating, who was a fucking black guy. I was like, what the fuck are you doing leaving your shit around here? It was fruit punch Kool Aid too.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing
And
that like.
we sat there, we cussed each other out. As soon as I said it, both started laughing. It's like, yeah, we are
But that's
professionals,
the
but
thing that actually, there's the little thing that made their Milsim and Milsims like theirs actually feel more realistic because the brotherhood of being able to banter with each other and no one it gets upset because you're talking to one of your brothers,
Yeah, and the only person
like,
that
and that
does
sort
get
of shit,
upset is the
like,
fucking outsiders.
yeah, some outsider or a viewer. But you know what, like, again, if it's obvious the whatever, it's not for them then. That's just the end of the day, like. But yeah, so I did the first few videos with them, and I made a couple of videos with them, and then I realized that like there's a story unfolding here with not just with like the reasons for them doing their op and
Yeah.
their little RP op that they're doing, with like whatever the reason why that they're in Afghanistan, because at the time they were doing a Ukraine op, so like they were pretending they're in the Ukraine. So I ended up realizing there's a story, not just the story of the reasons why they're there to fucking kill Russians or whatever the hell the game is telling him to do.
Hell yeah.
But the story for me was like the camaraderie of all the guys between the battles, between the firefights, when we would sit down in a bunker and talk shit for 20 minutes waiting for the GMs to plan stuff, but they make it feel like it's part of the battle. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah.
and then they would like you. 1 minute you're talking and laughing and carrying on. The next minute they're all flooding into this compound to destroy the enemy, and they do it in such precision that it's just like amazing. Like,
It's
and
like
and and
you just watch it. Like you watch it as an outsider. It's like
yeah,
they
yeah,
they get to they go feral to a point where it's like you look at them fucking act, fucking react. It's like watching a whole troop of gorillas just fucking go ape
yeah.
shit and just start killing motherfuckers.
But like these guys, like watching them do it was like, man, this is awesome. Like the way that they're just being able to push through an area, the amount of aggression, the action and of aggression was so accurate that I've never seen it
Uh,
from any
um,
other Milsim before. You know what I mean? Like
so
just in just
I was
the
looking this
way they're
shit
able
up.
to attack and clear and not have people get killed, just like and the amount of enemy that their GMs would throw at them and they would just destroy them all. And I'd just be sitting there like in the middle, because again, like I'm in the middle of them trying to be protected by all the guys. So I'm just sitting there watching them just destroy anything that the GMs pull at them because their training that they have in real world instinctively makes them pull a 360 and not look behind them. They're
Right.
always watching their sector. You know what I mean? Like, so then
Uh,
anything that comes into any one of those guys' sectors just gets destroyed instantly. Like,
see, that's um. I was gonna say something else, but like going back to what you're saying, like I've been in fucking what a lot of these units called deployments and operations, and the GMs will spawn like a good helping of fucking like infantry and shit. Every time the fucking assets get involved, like say the Apache pilots or something, or the Blackhawk pilots, the door gunners, fucking get involved and start mowing the fucking targets down. It's like infantry gets pissed off. It's like, motherfucker, you guys are getting surrounded. It's like if you can't get it fucking killed to the point where like they're halfway from where they spawned to in between, like to where you're at, and like if it comes to us like coming in and killing them, it's like you're gonna get pissed off at us. Like your aim sucks.
yeah. But yeah, so watching RCT5 do it made it. I think I made like a handful of videos with them, and then I think I'm pretty sure 180. Someone from 183rd, Devon. I'm pretty sure it was Devon. Devon from 183rd contacted me and asked me to come along with them. He said that he contacted me through Discord. He said he'd seen one of my videos, really liked it, and he wants me to come along with them. And I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to. That'd be really cool, something different. And at the time, I didn't really know. I didn't know how big they were. I didn't know what they were really into, and that's how I kind of like going into them too,
Right.
because then like it's then I don't like because I don't have a prior expectation of what I'm going to get. You know, I'll check up on them first, usually to make sure they're legitimate. They're not just going to pull me into a lobby with three people and be like, "Yeah, we have a battle," and it's three dudes. You know what I mean? Like, and
We just got a comment from hang on a second. Uh, we got a guy named Spiritus. We interviewed him before. He goes, Army man here. You already know that school. Yeah, I do. Myself having us out on mission is always fun because we have no filter and tear through the enemy. And that's fun. It's like you have no filter. It's like one less thing you have to fucking worry about. It's like fucking you imagine it shit like the jokes you hear at some forward operating base in fucking Afghanistan. It's like this shit you will not hear
Oh,
anywhere else.
it's well, that's Australians don't have a filter as well, man. Like that's why I think a lot of the guys that I know that have the mindset understand that it so because like for us it's very like for an Australian that's real, someone that's been through some stuff and they like not like kid handled their whole life, they understand what's going on. You know what I mean? It's very hard to turn that filter off sometimes. Like, and so for myself, it's always on, and I always can see like the way that someone's talking, even real world. When I see someone in the real world, I'm like, just the way by someone's talking, the words they're using, everything. I'm like, this dude's been through some shit. You know what I mean? And like, I then that's what led me to do my podcast as well. Like the untold story that all these vets have got. We should get into this a bit later, but the untold story that all the vets have got that play games like Arma Reforger, and people don't even know the heroes that they're playing with, literally. And I don't say that like lightheartedly. Like people don't even know the heroes that they're playing with in these gaming clans, the shit that they've done and seen. Like, and I, these warriors stay and remain quiet. They're, we'll get into this later, but that's one thing that after going with more of these like once I got invited to go 183rd and do the same thing with them, and I got there and I realized, and then seeing that they had like 60 people in there, and it was massive. I was like, shit, this is awesome. And then, but like, it was cool to see 20 dudes like-minded mindset. It was cool to see my guys, 8 of us, all mindset like-minded, being able to stand online and listen to a SMEAC or a brief for 20 minutes and not shoot
Right.
their gun up in the air and fuck around. You know what I mean? Like, but to see 60 dudes do that, all lined up in four-man fronts, all in good uniforms. No one's wearing anything wrong. Everyone's on. Everyone knows Rachel and comms and everything. And then when it's time to fall out, they literally all 60 of them go in a single file to where the birds are warming up. Like it was, I love that, man. The hairs on the back of my neck were going up. Like it's the first one of the first or the second video I did with the 183rd. Like and watching that like reinforced what like okay, this is what I need to do. Like after seeing what RCT5 can do and what they're capable of doing, and then seeing what the 183rd Air Assault is capable of doing with their helicopters and the amount of men that they have, I was watching them mount up, filming it, going, this is why I do this is why I'm doing this because of this. There's 60 dudes in this lobby, probably more like 70 dudes or 65. How many of the maxed out lobby was because there's GMs in there that are working the opposite side and they're willing to play GM for these 60 guys so they can have a mission where they can work in synchronicity together for the same outcome because they all want excellence. All 60 dudes playing a video game. Some of them are civilians, some of them are policemen, some of them are firemen, some of them are students, some of them are ex-military,
Right. Right.
some of them are just fucking young kids. You know what I mean? Like, but they all want the same thing, and they're all willing to play the game in a specific way because they all want to see perfection.
All right.
You know,
Right. Sorry, I cut it here.
no, you good.
Not sure you already mentioned it. What was the first unit you interviewed again?
First unit was RCT5
Ah.
is the one that
Okay.
interviewed it. I haven't done like I kind of keep the interviews to a point where because I feel a lot of people if I pull someone up and say, "Hey man, you want to do an interview?" Like a lot of them keep it. I don't want them to know it's coming.
Right.
I've done it with clans if they like if I'm doing a proper interview, like in game interview if that's what you mean, like and I'll line up the whole crew and interview each one. It takes ages because you spend like 5 minutes with each member. I did that with RCT5 and it took nearly an hour and a half, to filter everyone through. It was really funny though, and I got really good content. But then I did it with another crew and they took it too seriously. So their interview was actually really boring and I didn't even use it. Like it was,
uh,
man, because their commander told them what to say and then they kept it all serious. Oh, we're in the country here, and we hope to we hope to help these people, and blah blah blah. And they made it real
Help
serious,
these
and I was
people,
like,
motherfucker. This is a goddamn video game. What the fuck are you gonna do to help these people?
yeah.
You ain't
And
fucking
then
them.
the last guy that came through with that clan did his interview, and he was the one that was told that he's allowed to be funny, but and I'm not going to point him out. The video's up there. You'll find it if you want to go find it. But they're cool dudes. I love them all. But like, because it was scripted, I could tell. Being a thespian, I could tell. I was like, yeah, this feels fake. And I didn't want. So I try to keep those live interviews to one when I feel the mood is right. When I feel like I want to do it, put the microphone out in front of someone's face in game and do it. Or it's just got to be completely unscripted, and I haven't been doing them as much because especially if someone comes up to like when someone comes up to me and says, hey, you want to interview me, I'm kind of like, no. I don't even know you, like, and that happens a lot. Like, I'll be in game with the new clan or whatever, and they'll run some random dude, and what's funny, and people will laugh, a lot of the times it's the machine gunner. He'll run up to me and he'll be like, hey man, do you want to interview me? And I'm like, no. And I'm just like, and they're really disappointed because they expected like I was going to pull the microphone out and be like, "Hi, this is James David. I'm on the ground here with so and so," But I just don't do that much because yeah, it's got to be real spontaneous, and I have to be in the mood for it as well. Because otherwise, if I start doing it forced, it feels scripted for me as well. And then to me, that's not funny. So I'm pretty careful when I do that sort of thing, and plus I try to keep it as a novelty as well. So I feel if I did that with every clan, it might not be as funny. And as I think about it now, maybe it is something I could do with every clan at the very end of the video. Here's the 3 interviews with random dudes, but like it could be part of a segment. But again, I just don't know how I would fit that in. I did meet a dude
You just
on.
interviewing like fucking with you see Full Metal Jacket. You got fucking Animal Mother going up to fucking Joker and him. It's like,
Yeah, like I did a Vietnam. I went to War Pig server, which their server's massive and busy as, and they were really good at doing the interviews because they're all role playing as it is, and you're role playing dudes are pretending that they're in Vietnam, so you're gonna get the best of the best,
I wonder
And
if
I
I
met a
wonder
guy
if you
there.
actually got one of those characters that was. Uh, if you ever seen Apocalypse Now, I forgot who the guy was that was sent in to kill Brando.
Sheen's
Yeah,
character.
oh
You
yeah,
mean? No,
yeah, Charlie
yeah.
Sheen. Yeah, yeah, I forgot his. You get someone talking like him in the interview, and it's like, Jesus, man.
You've been here a while, haven't you? I mean, like, I went when I did the Vietnam one. Yeah, I met. They have a guy there that does their press stuff. Yeah, but he only does it whenever he's got time. He doesn't make YouTube videos. He just does it, and no one's documenting it. And he's really hard to get hold of. His dude's name's Ryan, and this dude has a talent which is like beyond phenomenal. And I'm going to start working with him a little bit more now that I've got the new PC and I can actually get better content. And like I did a day with them, man. And this guy Ryan is the best news anchor for a forger I have ever met, bar none. Like his energy is so insane. Like I was his cameraman for the day, and he was the guy with the mic. And like he's running around the battlefield, running up to dead bodies, getting interviews from dead bodies. It was fucking hilarious, man. He's so funny, and I can't wait to do more work with him. But like, yeah, that sort of energy is the energy that I would want to do. Like to make it more fun, because otherwise it's a normal board. Everyone's there's heaps of press guys out there doing Reforger videos that are doing the normal interview type shit. You know what I mean? Like, so I would want to do it where it's someone with like Ryan, and I've got some videos of him on my channel. There's some shorts on there as well. You can dig him up quite easily. But he is so funny and talented, man. I can't wait to get him involved more, man. Because yeah, he is someone the public needs to see because he's a real good talent, man. Like he reminds me of, I think it's Monster Movie. No, no, he reminds me of there's a Pixar movie, and there's a abominable snowman character who's got heaps of energy and keeps trying to give someone ice cream and snow cones. I can't remember what movie it's from though. He reminds me exactly of that
Right?
abominable
Wait,
snowman.
what? You fucking
You
Frozen?
don't. It might be. No, it's not Frozen.
What the fuck?
I don't remember what cartoon movie it is, but there's an abominable snowman, and he's got heaps of
Oh,
energy, and
fucking
he
this
keeps trying to
that
give people snow cones.
this fucking Monsters Inc. Like that fucking Yeti.
No, he's blue. It's a white guy. I think it might be. What's the one with the animals and they're stuck in Africa and shit, and they're trying to get out away from the. I think it might be that one. Anyway, it
Madagascar?
doesn't matter. But that might be that. Yeah, it might be Madagascar. But it's that like that's who he reminds me of, and he's just a really funny guy. And I just like that's the sort of like energy that I would want to do more of. Like than
Uh,
unless there's someone in a clan that really sticks out, I'm gonna go and interview. If there's someone that's a real funny character, I'm gonna pull the mic out and interview that person because I know they're gonna be gold. You know what I mean?
I actually just looked this up. I found the first video we ever made. Because it's not the first. It's not the first unit we interviewed. Because at the time, it was like what 8 years ago when we started doing interviews. I didn't know. Well, I thought like you interview people on Twitch, the stuff will stay there. But once you're done, you only have 7 days to save it.
Download
Otherwise,
it
just
again, yeah.
yeah, unless it's deleted. Like the first video we did was 47th Regiment. I believe it was infantry regiment. But for some damn reason, I put Milsim Regiment. It's like, yeah, that's first. It's when I was learning all this shit. Um, but like I was telling you, it's like fucking the way you explain it is like you don't do it like how normal news folks would do. Um, what the fuck? I'm watching chat real quick, so that's another situation I have to fucking get to.
No, well, I won't. I mean, I'll go in there and
Uh,
I'll interview their boss, like the
right,
person
right,
who's
right.
in charge.
Well,
I'll go and talk to that guy and say, like, hey, what are you guys about? What are you? Is there a military you're trying to emulate? You know, what's the deal? And I'll also and maybe I'll even ask them about the situation that they're in as well, if they're in
right, right. Well, I got
an op. You
like
know.
this, but like when I was, so, ah, when I was listening to you how like explain how you do things, it's like this. It's not normal. Like you're not going like how normal folks would do it, which I actually like because I don't. Like, I don't. If you watch,
No,
if
because
you watch some of my videos,
I'm trying to be more embedded
yeah,
with the clan. That's why I'll spend
that
a
yeah,
day or
that's what I'm
two
saying. Like
with them, and then
you will, uh, you would actually go kind of against to what like everyone's trying to be like, oh, professional, professional that. Fuck that shit, man. Throw it out the window. Like I was telling you before the stream, we kind of originally we wanted to start as like be as professional as it's like MSNBC or Fox News or some shit like that, but like we kind of find it didn't really fit us, so we decided to go with the whole we will do stories, do stories like any other news station, but we would tackle it with a combination of Jon Stewart and Howard Stern doing it. If you combine those two, you're gonna get a fucking show. Um, I don't even know if
yeah,
Howard's. I think I'm pretty sure Howard Stern's doing shit. I know Jon Stewart just got back into doing his show because for a long time he was actually um, doing shit for 9/11 first responders. Which if you have a minute to Google that on YouTube, you'll see a bunch of fire shit because he tears into people on fucking Capitol Hill.
yeah,
But like,
yeah. My idea was more so to like to hang out with them, show people like, look at this clan. This is what they do. This is how good they are. You could be a part of this if you wanted to sign up with them. It's a matter of joining their Discord. You know, it was more so that, like, more so just like, and at the same time, satisfying my own greed of trying to find excellence in it. I just wanted to see it. I don't want to. I don't. I'm not going to join them. I'm not going to scalp anyone either. I'm not because I'm not part of any Milsim anyway. So I want to see the excellence. I want to see them pull off an awesome op, or even if it's just parts of the op that are wicked, like an awesome LZ or a firefight where everyone worked really well, or whatever it is. You know, I mean, I just want to see what they do
Yeah,
really well.
I
Show
mean,
me something, sort of thing.
even if folks are seeing this, like even if they know that, oh, hey, we got someone from the news that's gonna showcase what we do and all that shit. Um, it doesn't have to be fucking flashy.
No, that's right. I mean, and I've done the news updates and all that sort of stuff. I've got a couple of them on my channel. Like depending on the guy and the guys that I hang out with, the crew, and that I might even do a news update before I do an hour long feature on their clan sort of thing. So, but that all just depends on what they're doing. Like sometimes I'll even if I'm doing a GM night for the guys that I play with, I might even do a news clipping to do with that mission that's happening on Friday night. You know, I mean stuff like that. So because at the end of the day, like when I was doing the modding the games back in early 2000, that was a creative outlet for me. That was just a creative outlet. That's all it really was. And back then I was making videos too. Some of those videos are still on YouTube on an old channel called Out of Touch Media. I don't even have access to the channel because I lost
Ah,
the email,
that's
but it's
why
still up.
your name on Discord's that.
Yeah. And so I used to make videos back then. They were nothing fancy, but I dabbled with editing back then, and I always liked it. Always liked making little montages and that sort of thing. And I never stopped
Uh,
making videos.
oh,
I
sorry,
always was playing with them. You know.
I got a question for you. So if it makes you feel uncomfortable, just let me know. But out of all the units that you've been on the ground with, been embedded with, and interviewed, who's your favorite?
It's got to be RCT5, but sadly,
Ah,
I have to probably let the world know they broke up last week and went two separate ways, and I'm no more. So that
wait,
is at an end. So
when you say RCT5, was that what's RCT?
RCT5, I can't remember what it stands for, but they're Marines. They use LAVs. Um,
Ah, that sounds like
but
five. That
they,
sounds like
yeah,
5 MR. Oh, we had
uh,
a in Battlefield. We had a group.
that's American Marine things.
Yeah, no, because
But yeah, they
Battlefield
broke up. So
Milsim.
right now, I don't have a favorite one at the moment. I kind of feel a little lost because I can't. They split and made two different groups. A group of them went to Arma 3, and the rest of them stayed with Reforger, but just rebranded. But like, so no, nothing bad. It's just they just went two
Yeah,
different
because
ways. You know what I mean?
we had a group on Battlefield 4 back in the day. Uh, they were around for a little bit on Battlefield 6, but they ended up folding and joining another unit.
Yeah,
But they were called 5th Marine Regiment, and we actually interviewed them a few times. We covered a couple wars they were in, a couple shit that incidents that they were a part of. Fucking it's like yeah, regimental combat team 5. Okay, that's yeah, that took me a minute.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, Regiment Contract Team 5. Yeah. Um, After thinking about your question more, to be honest, I don't. And this is going to sound very cliche. I don't think I actually ever have had a favorite unit to begin with because even though an RCT5 are fucking awesome, they lacked certain things. They didn't have an air unit. You know what I mean? So there's like they don't have an air unit. They were
Like,
always crippling to try
or
and find pilots. You know.
if you want to modify the question, for us, like besides from RCT5, who is the most enjoyable unit to work with? The one you actually had the most fun with, but just being a reporter.
I couldn't. I'm so bad. I could not choose to be honest. I was gonna say like they're all so fun, man, and
there's too
that's the
many
thing.
choices.
Some of them that I've worked with, they'll fold 6 weeks later. They're not even apart. They're not even together anymore. So like, but like and again
What?
like this is kind of also part of the thing too. Like, it's not necessarily the unit itself that I end up falling in love with. And this again, it's cliche as hell. It's the dudes that I meet when I'm there. There's always that one like every time every unit I go to a unit, there's always that one clown that's extra funnier than everyone else that everyone always wants to hang out with and talk to because he's the funny guy. There's always the asshole that treats everybody like shit and talks down to everybody, but everybody still loves him. There's always the leader. There's always, these people are all, but each one of them's different. And every time I go to another clan and I walk in the server, in the room, whatever, I meet them all again. The same characters, I meet them all over again. And, the arsehole talks down to me because I'm Australian and tells me I've got no guns and my country sucks. And I'm like, okay, dude, good for you, mate. Whatever. And
It's
then the
like
leader
you
just
don't need
nods his
you
head
don't
and
need
respects me.
you
Like
don't need a
the
fucking
Joker wants to laugh with me because he knows I'm Australian. He knows I've got a good sense of humor. He's seen my videos. Like,
so you
and it's honestly, it's the same thing each group I go with. And to be whole, man, it's the community that I love. It's this armor game that I love, and it's the community I love.
so you
Like
just look
because
at it as like I don't need a fucking gun to defend myself. Just picks up a fucking King Brown stick and just throw it at him.
But yeah, so it comes down just to like the genre of the game, the community, and that's why I started doing it more so as well because I was like this is something I could actually give back to as well to the community by showing and showcasing all of these units and what they're capable of, and potentially getting them noticed, so then they can get more people in, so then maybe they can last it just a little bit longer to give some of the guys that have spent a lot of time that are trying to really make something work to give them a little bit more time to have those experiences in the game that which they're just trying to create for their
Right.
friends. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it's down to for me. Like, and that ended up rolling into me making the podcast as well. Like, after meeting a bunch of these people in the game, and then like finding like hearing all their real life stories, and hearing the veteran stories that they had, and then realizing like a lot of it makes sense now, like why you're here, why you're
See,
doing the job that
we
you're
did
doing
that.
within this unit. And
We actually did that different. We came about it in a different way. Um, the way we came about it was we started out when we started Eminem. It was we were reporting stuff like, oh, this unit did a hostile raid on this unit because uh, of conduct of officers that were they like someone saying some shit real unprofessional and whatnot. And so okay, hey, we want to have a hostile raid, or if it is found out that Unit A is poaching from Unit B, and like Unit C and D join, like Unit B drops a war dock on Unit A, and Unit C and D join the war dock on the side of Unit B. We report that. After a while, we started just like, okay, well, instead of just being known for doing that, why we just like, I mean, we started up a Twitch, fucking, it was like, dude, let's do this, and we bring people on, talk about the unit, get to know them, see what they like, how long they've been around, how long they're doing this, what sets their unit apart, and because this is back on battlefields, like, um, and of course when we started, we just hanged out, and so, like we would stream, but we would stream like the battlefield menus. But then like after a while, we started like going to in games, like we would spec like we would spectate war like the raids or the whether it be like hostile raid or JTO or a war raid. And of course, when we did that, like people were raising up the questions like, "Hey, like how like why are we gonna let them people just watch the stream and find out where people are?" It's like, yeah, they could. However, but there's like kind of a slight delay when it comes to us seeing it than like it being transferred to like Twitch. It's like a few-second delay and shit.
yeah,
So it's
20
like,
seconds.
um, wasn't even 20 seconds. Jesus, I'll be like lagging like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I put mine down to 20 seconds just so I can catch it when people screw me over.
If I'd known that, I probably would have done like a little 10-second delay. It's like we watch that and like and end up being just like okay, it's because by the time we show where Johnny Hoo Ha is over in this fucking area, by the time anyone starts shooting it, he's already fucking changed positions. But oh shit, what time is it? Fuck, god damn. All right, hour 34 minutes. But anywho, man, I was go ahead and call it for a day. Was there anything you guys want to uh, just say before we wrap it up for tonight?
I got nothing. Hit me up on YouTube. Smash them buttons. Go watch the videos. Have a laugh. That's all I care about.
All
Just have a laugh.
right, folks. Well, this has been. I was about to call you Johnny again for some reason.
Yeah.
But it's been James, the Armor Forger Reporter. Um, if you guys have any, if you guys want to see, watch what he posts, watch his YouTube videos, we will include a link to his channel in the description. Um, again, huge shout out to Milsim Units, LA Flash, and them for being a sponsor of this today's episode of the Sit Down episode 4. So again, if you're just some random Joe that wants to join a unit on a different game or whatever game that might suit your fancy, head over to milsimunits.com, join the Discord, and you're it's like what are you looking for, all that shit, and just shoot the shit with other units and see which one sticks out to you. If you're a CEO who wants to get your unit under the spotlight or some shit, again, milsimunits.com. We'll have a link in the description. But again, uh, James, out of touch, fucking
Yeah, man. Cheers
Aussie
for having
man.
me. Also, everyone, go and check out my podcast on Spotify, the Armor Off podcast, where I interview combat veterans and they tell me everything. It's kind of like Sean Ryan is sort of thing, but it's done. I actually do it in Reforger, so we sit in two couches in Reforger, and I do a 4 hour podcast with war torn combat veterans. They tell me everything from their first kill to their school, everything. So yeah, go and check it out. It's on Spotify. All right, peace. Thanks
All
very
right,
much, everyone.
all right, gents. We'll see you guys in the next one.